So after watching Batman Mask of the Phantasm, I was getting interested back into the Joker, specifically the DCAU incarnation of him. And as I started reading and remembering all the things he's done across the DCAU, the deaths he's been implied to have done, the massive body count that's also implied to get bigger and bigger and bigger, a very familiar thought crossed my mind that a lot of people have nowadays when they discuss Batman and specifically the Joker, which is Batman is an absolute moron for not snapping this man's neck and just ending his merciless rampage right then and there. And this isn't just a thing you can say about DCAU Batman, it's a thing you can say for a lot of incarnations. But instead of just doing a generic video where I'm gonna call Batman an idiot for not murdering the Joker or not doing the exact antithesis of that, I want to talk about why this perception exists and why the problem is a problem in the first place. See, comic books are very often a kind of game of one-upsmanship. Every run is trying to be bigger and better, but mostly bigger than the last one, and to be the most important thing that's being done to the character at that point in time. It's why basically every Flash story that's ever been written can be summed up as the Flash runs faster than he's ever ran before. Or why you typically have a lot of characters say they've never faced a strength level like this before, or they've never felt fear like this before. It's a cheap and easy way to make things seem bigger and more epic than they actually are, and it's one that is symptomatic of a lot of comic book writing, and the Joker is that problem taken to a character level. See, the reason why the Joker has become so indefensible, and why Batman's not killing of him has become progressively more and more indefensible as time has gone on, is precisely because of this escalation problem. Because every single fucking Joker story that's done nowadays is Joker just murdering at the very least a few people, but usually sometimes in the dozens. It really paints a bad picture, not just for Batman, but for everyone in the DC universe when they allow a monster like this to keep going on because of some stupid platitude moral high ground. And it's a problem that wouldn't really have to exist if we just dialed back the Joker. In the Silver Age, Joker was basically just an annoying asshole who would show up to annoy Batman. His schemes were lethal, quote unquote, but he really was just a clown that kept bothering Batman because he had fun doing that. And now the character is just a mass murderer all the time. Want to show how Joker is evil and detestable? Have him murder someone. In fact, have him murder as many people as you possibly can. And when you constantly do that with the character, when you have him amass like a body count in the dozens or even the hundreds every time he shows up, it really does make Batman indefensible in not wanting to kill him, and it stretches your suspension of disbelief because you constantly wonder to yourself, okay, how does one of the Gotham cops not blow his brains out while he's resisting arrest, quote unquote? Or how is the law not making a death penalty exception for him considering the fact that he has a ridiculous body count by this time? And it's not even like Clark Kent's glasses where it's something you have to sort of bend your suspension of disbelief. This is something that is constantly thrown into your face and made bigger and worse all the time. And it becomes a perpetual irritant for the reader, and it just makes everyone else look like incompetent morons. But now some people will tell me, oh, well, even if the Joker was killed, they're just gonna bring him back from the dead anyway, so that's why they don't kill him. The implication being that everyone in the DC universe is genre savvy enough about how their universe never really ends or how nothing really has consequences, and that's why they don't even bother killing the Joker. They know he's just gonna come back, so what's the point of doing that? But I really hate that argument because the characters in the DC universe don't act like that. Despite all the things that have happened to them and all the things that have done to them, they never really think on such a metatextual level. Unless you're doing some kind of joke character or kind of like a joke one-shot, characters just don't act like that, and that's why I always hate trying to shoehorn that metatextual characterization into stories that just don't have it. And obviously the solution would be to just dial back the Joker. Let's stop making the racking up of his body count the only thing he ever seems to do. Let's go back to the Silver Age. Let's just make him a troll who does things to annoy the shit out of Batman. Let's have storylines where he's just out on parole. He's not doing anything. He's always being watched by Batman and he knows it, but he's like intentionally not doing anything because he knows he's making Batman pissed off by putting on the waiting game. Let's do storylines where he just trolls Batman like that. Let's do something with this guy that's not just the amassing of his body count. And that really is the big crux of the Joker problem. That's why a lot of people don't like the Joker. That's why a lot of people cannot really stand Batman when he has this mass murderer going around doing whatever he wants without ever really finding comeuppance. But this is just a small facet of a problem that stretches across the entire comic book industry, and I could make an entire video series about it if I really wanted to go extra deep into it. But needless to say, these are my thoughts on the Joker problem, why it is a problem, why it keeps happening, and also why it's never going to be fixed, because mass murderer Joker is the only way people can just create anything with the character these days, I guess.